When I was a little girl, my grandmother would start her day at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee. And when I would wake up, I would join her at that table. And we would talk, we would laugh, and I would listen and I would learn. Sometimes she would talk to her girlfriends and I would soak it all in. They talked about life, they talked about love, but mostly she talked about being ferociously her, being her authentic self in a world that didn't always accept who she was, how she was, or that she was. But she didn't let that stop her. She made shift happen anyway. My granny's not with us anymore, but that doesn't mean the laughing and the learning has to stop. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, at my kitchen table, and let's keep talking shift.
You're listening to Talking Shift, the podcast, with your host, Marissa Q. Payne. Talking Shift is a trademarked production of Marissa Q. Payne International, your source for coaching and consulting when you need a major shift in life or leadership.
Have bag, will travel.
For more information, visit marissaqpayne.com.
Get you some good friends when you're going through your shift. That's the message here.
For now, listen, learn, and laugh with your host, Marissa Q. Payne.
Emphasis on at the moment. Hey family, welcome back to Talking Shift, the podcast. I am your favorite host, Marissa Q. Payne, and laughing at my kitchen table, I guarantee you, is what is about to happen today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, disruptive. Do you all have a bestie? Do you have a BFF? Do you have, your person? Finally wrapping up our kind of introductory series. I don't know if excited is I'm excited. I was going to say, I don't know if excited is the right word, but I am excited to welcome to the Talking Shift studio, my person, my oldest and best friend living, who came to this episode kicking, screaming, cursing.
Maybe.
But because she loves me and she is a shift master herself, though she probably doesn't identify that way. She is here. She is a therapist professionally. She is a mom and super Meemaw. She is a dog mom. So many dogs, big dogs, little dogs, too many dogs. She is the caregiver of caregivers. She's a California girl, and I am so excited to call her my bestie. Welcome to the stage, Treniss Marie Roberts. Hi, bestie.
Hello.
So why don't you start by sharing how we met?
You really want me to talk about that?
Might as well give some context to the people. This is how they get to know me. And you have known me. Well, Jewel was on the show too. So she's known me a long time, but you've known me longer than my own daughter. Oh, well, my sister knew me too, but you just know me in a different way,
So are we talking 6th grade, 7th grade?
You should probably start with 6th grade when you tried to steal my boyfriend.
So I was trying to figure out was that 6th grade or not?
I think it was because it was like the band thing.
It was a band thing where all the schools were coming together. And that's where we met. I met him.
Is that where you met him?
That might have been where I met him. I wasn't allowed to leave my house. A block around. Yeah, so that's where I met him. And then he and I exchanged numbers. We were talking or whatever we called it back in the day.
Wait, so he was cheating in the 6th grade?
Oh, yes, because you answered the phone one day when I called the house, and that's how we met.
I didn't even know that's where this story was going.
Here's why I said, are you sure that's what you want me to talk about?
I don't remember that. That's hilarious.
That was
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, our official face-to-face meeting would have been 7th grade, middle school.
So then how did we become freaking friends?
You know, that part
was it typing class?
Huh?
Was it typing class or did it happen in high school?
No, middle school was for sure because we had typing in middle school.
Oh yeah. We used to sing Superwoman.
Well, how were we singing when we were supposed to be in class?
I don't know.
It was Superwoman and another song that I can't remember at this moment, but no.
Like we just really knew. You know what I'm saying? Like we meant it down in our souls. So needless to say, we've been around a long time.
And I think I still dated him in 7th grade after that.
I was done with him by 7th grade. I was on to other people by 7th grade.
Yeah, boy.
And I believe he cheated on me in the 6th grade. Now I'm going to bring him on the show and have him speak for himself. You got some answering to do, sir. Your name, we're not going to mention you, but you know who you are. Okay, so you know what? That's really interesting because, of course, I'm having people that know me and have known me for a long time to talk about what they know about me and their favorite shifts in my life.
Oh, I mean, I have one.
Oh, well, then let me just be quiet then. Okay.
My favorite shift of yours was one of the early times that you separated from.
I knew you was gonna say that. I meant to say you can't say divorce and you can't say business because that's what everybody has been saying.
That was my most favorite.
Okay. Ugh.
I don't remember the cause of it at this time, but you left. Got your own place. I think you even shifted jobs at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And you were thriving. You were living life. You were doing your own thing. The kids were still pretty young, but yeah. And you just came out a whole nother person, you were stronger, more independent, more, I mean, you always been strong up here, but you know,
you know, they can't see you pointing to your brain, right?
No. Yeah, you were more just not taking as much crap.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as if you recognized your worth. That's what I saw out of that shift. And I don't know where you went.
Okay, so back up. We were in middle school, and then I'm just saying. So we were talking typing class, and then we went all the way to marriage and kids. So tell a little bit about our relationship and how why that would have even been significant to you. Talk a little bit about how our relationship evolved. So we were friends in middle school.
Went into high school.
Who were you in high school?
Who was I in high school? The band geek.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you when my dad passed away?
You know, I don't know. I mean, we must have been going through a season at that time.
Maybe.
Because I feel like I was there, but I wasn't there. I knew it was happening, but I feel like there were other band people that were more supportive to you that year. Because that was freshman year.
That was freshman year, yeah.
I don't know if you stole another boyfriend or what.
Oh, you know, we did have that issue in high school too.
Oh yeah, we definitely did.
Freshman year. Why are we friends?
We definitely did. And I know it was the person with the breath situation,
Yes,
right?
it was. And you know what? At the end
Yes.
I think it was at the end of that solidified it, because I think at that point we got irritated at him together.
Oh, okay.
So it was a mutual like, oh, you think you can do that? It was one of those. We're not going for that. That's how that one ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew it was something that there was just a little tenseness there. But yeah, so we were in band together all throughout.
All throughout. You did your thing. And honestly, I think we were really separate. I think we came together more so after high school. Once no, because you talked me into applying for college.
I was getting ready to say now that's where I'm gonna have to stop you.
No. It's coming back to me. Give me a second. Yeah, no. Because you did. You talked me into going into applying for college. Applied for college. Got into college. Was I already pregnant at that time?
That's what I was gonna say. That little terrible relationship that you had.
Okay, so that's a little fuzzy for me. So you that into your life. You know how summer works. The queen just left it out.
Like, I don't know how I became your coach in high school, but baby,
yeah,
support you. Oh my gosh, like I supported you through a hard relationship, and you supported me through a hard relationship. We didn't even know that.
I didn't. That part literally. I'm like, tell me more, because I don't. Help me remember that. I remember the college thing right now as we're speaking.
I'm literally about to cry now. So you were in an abusive relationship in high school. And actually so was I.
I don't think
mine wasn't physical. Yeah, mine wasn't physical in high school, but it eventually became physical. But I supported you. Yeah, I supported you through, a very hard relationship. And then you did get pregnant, and then I went to college and I got pregnant and got off track.
Right. And the people. Yes.
The people that had been my friends and were supposed to be my friends were my friends. So you were my friend.
That part. Literally, that's it. And because no one else could relate. No one else was in your shoes.
Correct.
And yes. I remember.
I know. It's coming back, right?
It is. And I remember too, speaking of that abusive relationship, I remember when it was very clear to me when you were in Columbia, and I was asking my mom and stepdad, hey, how much money does it take in gas to get to Columbia? Do I have enough to get there and get back? I remember that conversation. They were in the living room.
Oh.
Yeah.
We shifted together and didn't even know it.
Yep.
Wow. You got out of yours sooner than I did. So that then makes sense as to why you're saying that separation was big and you were proud. Yeah, to bring us current. That makes sense. Yeah. So now can you tell me a little bit about who you were then?
Then?
You already did that.
Someone who didn't realize their worth. Someone who was looking for love in someone else. Not realizing I had it.
And why do you think that was? We're going to do therapy for ourselves today. I was like, I don't know where this is going.
I need it because, they high. I was meeting with a girlfriend yesterday. She was talking about, yeah, I pay $185. I was like, I will get paid $185. I am not paying $185. Anywho, my bad.
Insert the BetterHelp sponsorship.
I think the way I grew up, children were to be seen and not heard. I was a daddy's girl. Let's just be really honest.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? I was his shadow. And then he, up and left. What was I supposed to do? So
he passed away, by the
that
way.
part.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a mess. My sister did her thing. Yeah.
So there was a void that was filled by
someone who told me what to do, when to do, how to do it. Oh, well, this is familiar.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Man. And what's interesting is that before I was a coach, I say this all the time to people, I've been coaching my whole life.
Same. I've been a therapist my entire life.
So I was coaching you, like you said, you're the one told me college was a thing, and I was like, I was a women's coach at that, women's empowerment. And yet I was in, a relationship myself that was controlling and emotionally abusive. I had needs within myself that I wasn't even recognizing, right? That made me also vulnerable.
But you recognized them in me.
Correct.
And then I recognized them in you. But to be able to do something different for ourselves individually, we weren't there at that time.
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing we have in common and had in common was loss, grief. Yeah. So you lost your father in high school. I lost my grandmother in college, early in college. I had some other losses, my father and my paternal grandmother. We eventually lost your mom, your sister. Essentially, you're a nuclear family.
Literally.
And your stepfather.
Right after Sean.
And new surrogate mom. Like, you've experienced a lot of grief has been a part of your story.
Treniss grief.
Yeah. Yeah. And you still love.
Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow's not promised. So why not enjoy the time that you do have? Make the most of it.
I remember you did a big road trip.
Oh my gosh. People were holding a cow about my road trip.
After one of those transitions, you drove from St. Louis to California alone. Why?
Why not?
Because I didn't want you to do it.
You and so many others. No. Like, I'll come with you. Oh, no, absolutely not. No, thank you. There's nothing for me personally that doesn't like the open road to just to think, to clear your head. It was a very cathartic trip for me. I chose to take a similar route that I had gone with my uncle, who has now since passed away, Uncle Jerry. And I went and did stops that we had done as children with both my mom and my dad. So went to the Royal Gorge, walked across the suspension bridge, and then baseball has been life. So it just so happened the Cardinals were in Colorado. I was like, oh, wait, what time does the game start? What did the match? Oh, I'm going to the game. Yeah.
So that was therapy for you.
That was absolutely therapy for me. I went back. I think I got back home, and I think I went back to work maybe 3 weeks later. Were there still tears? Were there still moments? Absolutely, there still are. But that was what I needed.
Yeah. How did you, assuming, right, you have gotten to a place where you know your value
Mhm.
and you feel better, right, in terms of self love and self worth? How did you get there?
Ooh. Trial and error, poor relationship after poor relationship, and just
Mm-hmm.
got tired of people not recognizing it, not
Mm.
recognizing what I bring to the table, what I can
Yeah.
offer. The saying I can do bad by myself, that's a thing. That's a real
Yeah.
thing. And I do
Yes.
great all by myself. So if you cannot meet me with what I'm bringing,
Listen, you're so funny. So when we visit each other, it's a funny thing.
not if you ask Bridget.
Speaking of things, but we're a little Thelma and Louise-ish, but also, you know, we like our own space.
Yes.
And so,
Jesus.
and friend really likes things the way she likes things. And she's just like, what are you doing? What are you touching? Why are you touching that? Why are you?
Everything has its place in my life. Bestie over there, that's a different story.
Yeah.
When those creative juices get flowing, things are also
Oh.
flowing.
Everywhere for a while, right? Like it could be like 3 weeks when I'm in that state. And then one day I'll just wake up and I'll just be like, okay, time to bring order again.
At 4:00 in the morning. You just throw that in there.
Oh man. So here's a good question. So then what is it like watching a friend live beneath their potential? And what advice do you have for those who may be experiencing it?
That's a loaded question. You can assist someone in seeing their worth, but you can't make them. You can provide opportunities. You can pray for them. But outside of that, until they're ready to see it, until they're tired of going through the same thing over and over again, they kind of have to go through their journey. So for me, it's more of being supportive and being present and ready for when they are.
Even if it's in the middle of the night in the
I mean,
rain.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have a what is it? The favorites that can break through my do not disturb for a reason.
Thank you, friend. You were there for me many times, me and my 3 kiddos, at random times when I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready. When I was ready today, but then, nope, I'm going back tomorrow. And you never gave up on me. I'm so grateful for that. I didn't give up on you
You did that.
either.
You did that.
And now you are confident in self, thriving and making a difference in meaningful ways in other people's lives, which is so dope. But a lot of people lose a lot of friends along the way because of relationships,
Yeah.
toxic
Oh, yeah,
relationships.
for sure.
Yeah. How do you self-care so that you don't end up like taking on somebody else's stuff?
Oh, it's called boundaries.
Oh, that's
One of
good.
my favorite topics. My clients, my patients think, oh, are we really talking about? Yes, we are really going to go here because I think boundaries is what kept me sane and what keeps me from, like you're asking, taking on things that aren't mine.
Mm-hmm.
What's within my control and what's not.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You just make it seem like it's so simple.
And that's what my patients are always saying, it's, and I do, I say easier said than done, but the other side of it is I'm okay with me.
Mhm.
So said friend can be mad. Said friend can be not okay with what I'm saying or the boundary that I'm setting. I'll be ready when you're ready, but
Yeah.
but that, I mean, honestly, that is that's genuinely how I live life.
Got it. And I imagine you got there through, like you said, you know, relationships that didn't go the way you wanted them to
For sure.
go, life's disappointments, life being life, grief taught you some things that really have got you to a place where you kind of are centered and grounded.
It's protecting my peace.
Yeah.
Another mantra I have: protecting my peace. Is this something I control? Is this a boundary that's being pushed? Am I, what's going on with that? You can't get rid of me, and I can't get rid of you.
So you are peaceful with four dogs?
So peaceful.
What
it is, There's a continuum when I say peaceful.
Because you have what type of dogs?
I have 2 Yorkies and essentially 2 Saint Bernards.
Mm-hmm. You should have mentioned the shift that I've had with animals.
My goodness. So it would have been that same trip, I think. Can we talk about that trip real quick?
Uh-oh.
Why were you coming in town? What was... Hold on, wait a minute. So this wasn't even my dog that I had, I don't think, at the time. This was my San Diego BFF's dog that I had, right?
I just want to say for the record, when we were children, you had a dog
you were terrified.
named Dog.
I had Princess, the German Shepherd, and I had Dog, the Brittany Spaniel. You were not a fan.
So I've been subjected to this basically against my will all my life.
And then you came to visit. We went somewhere to eat by the water, and I show up with a Yorkie at the restaurant, and you were like, what?
And they served the dog before they served me.
You were fit to be tied. You were like, only in California. That's San Diego. That's this. That's that. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get in trouble because I know it's a lot. I'm actually thinking about, I've gone from disdain to actually considering
having a dog. Well, and the funny thing about that is you didn't even let on that you were remotely liking the dog until after you left. It's just so you were like, he was kind of cute. Grew on me. Yeah.
So, shift could happen. It could happen.
Until you called me on FaceTime and saw Musa and Taka, the Saint Bernard.
Until I saw the big dog.
You were like, okay, wait a minute.
It's like, nope. So we have to, I'm told that they're very good, friends, and they're loving and supportive, and they make you exercise because you got to get outside. I can think of a lot of reasons to, integrate this into my new life. I can also think of a lot of reasons not to, though.
We're not talking about those. We're talking about positive things right now.
So we'll see.
I'm excited for that.
Can we also talk about the shift that you've made in joining the podcast and actually having fun? I told you it wouldn't be bad. And what richness have we shared and discovered?
And you were not lying when you said kicking and screaming. I don't know that I was cursing, though, but I was definitely kicking and screaming. Because this is not something I would normally do for a fact.
for anybody.
But you.
But it was you have really like we really opened up and uncovered some pretty juicy stuff that I mean helps me understand me a little bit more. I've talked about, being in an abusive relationship before. Um, and the physical aspect stopped
Yeah.
early, you know, very, very
With
early, really after like the first or second
after you
year.
left.
Yes.
The shift that I
Yeah.
was referring to. That's when that stopped.
Correct. Correct. I spent a year in therapy. I didn't know that I could take care of my kids by myself. I got to a better place. And, I came back to the relationship with the understanding in terms that I'm not going to dim my light anymore. If this is going to work, you've got to accept me for me and what I come with. And so we, agreed to do that. And for the most part, I was thinking that we did, until I was thinking that we didn't.
And I think you guys did for a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Shift happens, and so that's the thing, like, where are you when you think about humans and change, you know, can they? Will
Oh,
they?
sure.
Yeah.
I think they most definitely can. If I wouldn't be in my line of work if I didn't. I think
Okay.
sometimes people need cheerleaders, people need people to, point out that they have choices and that they have the power to make a different choice. I think if individuals understand why they do what they do, they can have a better understanding. Also, from that understanding, can gain power for them to do something different.
So you're not in the once an abuser, always an abuser, once a low self-worth, always low self-worth, that kind of thing, that philosophy?
No, I think if an individual wants to change, they can change. And if, when it comes to the abuser, I think, let me back up. There is a lot of work that has to be done for an individual to do something different. If the individual is willing to do that work, the shift can really happen. But that work is hard. It's not pretty. It's not comfortable. And a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of women, I wouldn't say digressing, but women or men in abusive relationships get criticized, I think, for, like going back a lot of times. And that's common. I think what people don't realize, what you're saying is each of those dynamics is a shift.
Yeah.
Right? That's the hard work that you're talking about. If you have been, like you said, from an early age, your formative
Literally.
years in a relationship where you're looking for validation from a man, in your case, or a woman, whatever, and expecting them to give you and determine for you your worth and value, and that carries with you for 20 years or however long, it's not gonna shift overnight. You're gonna have some more of those relationships, but the time in which you're in them will be shorter and shorter, right? And the next one will be shorter, and you'll start picking up quicker,
Those red
right?
flags.
But people expect so stop judging people and love them through it, knowing that they're working through the journey. Give them grace because it's not easy to work through that shift.
Well, the J word that you used, is a lot of reason why people don't stick with their so-called friends when they're going through
Yeah.
shifts, because there is so much judgment. That is
Yeah.
one of the rules in my space of work, in my therapy room. Check your judgment at the door. And that's not just with the peers that are in the room, but that's also with self.
With yourself. Woo! Check your judgment at the door. That's good. I say judge less,
Right.
love more. I love
We
you,
generally say the same
Becky.
things, just in different language.
I know. I've been wondering for a minute why in the world we were friends. I'm just playing, but this has been such a friendly reminder as to why I am so proud of
Aw,
you.
as I am with you.
I don't think I tell you that ever.
Nice job. I love that truth.
I was gonna say enough, but ever. You are the wind beneath my wings, friend.
Don't make me cry.
Love you. Thank you so very much. Anything else you want to leave with the listeners? Where can they find you, connect with you? I know that obviously you're licensed in California, can't necessarily serve everywhere, but
Email TrenissMFT@gmail.com.
awesome. How fortunate your clients are to have you, and how fortunate I am to have you as bestie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've been listening to Talking Shift, the podcast, with your host, Marissa Q. Payne. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, like or subscribe for future episodes, and leave us a review. Talking Shift is a trademark production of Marissa Q. Payne International, your source for coaching and consulting when you need a major shift in life or leadership. For more information, visit marissaqpayne.com or follow us in social spaces at Marissa Q. Payne.